we're going to show you how I actually calculate your final grade. We can see the grades up here, 10% for each of the exams. Alex is 10%, the portfolio is 20, attendance and participation 10%, and finally the final exam is worth 30%. Let's jump over to a spreadsheet. We already have the labels in here, and all we have to do is put in the formula that will make the calculation. So I start with an equal sign. All formulas do that, remember, and it's 20% for the portfolio, so 0.2 times the sum, and I'm going to grab all of these portfolios, close my parenthesis, and I'm going to add 0.10 times the test values. Now there are some ways that I can do it. I just screwed up, so let's back up. We need to do the sum of these three. I could do each one of them individually, but why? When we have the sum key, it makes it so much easier. And then I'm going to add 30% for the final, and then each Alex and attendance are 10%, so we'll do the sum of those as well, and I hit enter, and now we have our formula in there that'll make the calculations. And just to show you that you can actually earn a few extra percentage, or for a few extra points, almost a full point, if you do everything perfectly, we'll highlight that, and you can see that's a percent. Well, I'm not quite sure why it's calculating a percent there, so let's get rid of that and format cells, and we're just going to say it's a number, and it's rounded to one decimal place. We'll take it and round it so that we can see that there actually is a 0.8 there, which accounts for these being 13 times 8 is 104 instead of 100 points for the portfolio. Most of us probably aren't going to get perfect scores on all of them. You should for all your portfolios, but let's say you didn't do as well on the first test, so you get a 95, and maybe you really blew the second test, you got an 80, and here you got a 90, and your final exam you got an 85, and you got most of Alex and a perfect attendance grade. You can see what it takes to get an A. That's an easy A there. But what about some of us who struggle a little bit? So let's say here that instead of this 80, maybe for example we really blew it and we got a 50 on this exam. Well, watch what happens. Well, that didn't quite get us down there where we wanted to be. So let's say we didn't do it at all. We got that. Well, that's a B. And now we know that our syllabus says that the final exam will replace it. So what happens is I actually do this in the spreadsheet as I turn this red so I remember, and I take that 85 and I type it right in there, and wow, we're back to an A again.